even know if you're ready. I don't even know if you're ready. I'm so very excited. I'm elated. I'm feeling blessed of the Lord because it is Saturday, May the 5th. How are you doing? How has your week been? Hold on. Let's walk through the week right quick. Oh my God, I'm so excited about being back. I am really doing the weekly walkthrough. Thank you guys for being patient while I told y'all like 3 or 4 different times that it was coming back, but it didn't. And now it is here to stay. If this is your first time at all these things, welcome. I'm really glad to have you. If you don't know what the weekly walkthrough is, the weekly walkthrough is a weekly show comprised of 5 segments. We have a testimony and a struggle, which is kind of 2 in 1, where I talk about something that has been troubling me or I've been struggling with during the week and how God brought me out of it or how God had made a point out of it through that situation. And then I have a fave, and that can be from a drink down to a piece of clothing down to a TV show. It's just something that I'm totally obsessed with for the week. And then we have 3 points of culture, and that's where I just pull through 3 things out of the crazy week that we just got through and talk about them and take my whole take on them. And then we have It's a Word, and it is basically a little snippet of encouragement or inspiration from God through me to you. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to give a special shout out to Kiani, who is my graphic design intern / in faith potential assistant once I make enough coins to hire her as my assistant. She has really helped me with photos and videos and graphic design for my clients. So she is a gift from the good Lord above, and she is special. I love her. Let's go ahead and get into testimony or struggle. So if you hang out with me and you guys have followed me on social, you understand how many times I have said that the weekly walkthrough was gonna be back. I started a job last summer and I thought I could balance the job, the full-time job, and do the weekly walkthrough. Didn't work. If it's not my third, it's definitely my second time trying to bring the weekly walkthrough back since this time last year, literally. This time last year is when I had kickstarted it for the second time. So this will be my 3rd kickstart of the weekly walkthrough. Let us all pray that your girl can be consistent. I know life happens, but the weekly walkthrough has a special place in my heart. I always put down and pick up vlogging. I always put down and pick up blogging. I always put down and pick up everything else. Every time I put down the weekly walkthrough, it shifts something in my heart and in my soul. Which really, let me put my earrings on. I'm sitting here with no earrings. Which really makes me feel like it's a calling. It's a special, it's a grace that God has given me to do. And it is what resonates most with everyone on my channel, I feel. I don't know if you guys can feel the same, but I feel like I get the most conversation, I build the most relationships when I do the weekly walkthrough. So I'm excited to bring it back, and this is my testimony and my struggle really. Since about February, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I need to get back and start doing content. I did a couple of videos on Instagram and I did a couple of IGTVs, but I was like, I'm still not feeling it. I'm still not feeling fulfilled in the content that I'm making, not only for myself, but for what I put out to share with people. It had just been on my heart, but I just did not have the time. And I have a part-time job that takes up a lot of time, and then I started my business, so that's been taking up a lot of time, and then still trying to do Instagram and share words of encouragement. It's just been really time-consuming, and I just did not have the time. So I've just been like, man, I would really like to. And it was almost like a secret prayer that I was praying and didn't really know that I was praying. It was like, I really would like to get back to the weekly walkthrough. I wish I had time, This month, the person that I work alongside, she said, we're gonna have Fridays off for this month. And I was like, oh my God, this is my sign to get back to the weekly walkthrough. So that's my testimony and my struggle. Finding time to get back into the weekly walkthrough, and because having that passion, I really wanted to do it and I didn't know if I was gonna have the time. So I'm very excited that now I have this space of 4 weeks. So you're at least gonna get 4 weekly walkthroughs coming up here. And hopefully by that time I'll have enough of a schedule put together to where I can squeeze it in to the rest of my life once I have Fridays back working again. And so tell me what God has done for you this week in the comments. You know, let me know how God has shown himself to you this week. so we can praise him together, you know? A fave. So my fave is not really a fave initially because I die every day. It's Transform 20. It is the new Beachbody fitness program by Shanti, and it is 20 minutes a day, 6 days a week for 6 weeks. I am going to the Bahamas in June, and who not finna be jiggling around on the beach is this one. She finna be firm and fine and looking like she should be on Baywatch. So I'm very excited to be working. I'm lying to you. I'm not excited to be working out. It's hard. It's hard as hell, actually, but I do it. And one thing that I've noticed is that as I'm pushing myself in fitness, I've started to push myself in other areas because your girl is like, when she get tired, she'll go to bed instead of, oh, I'm tired, but I'm gonna push through. Because I'm pushing through in this fitness, it's 20 minutes, but it's like the hardest 20 minutes ever. Like, it takes me about an hour to recover. Like, I'll go from working out right into the shower and I'll be sweating for like an hour after I get out of the shower. Like, I'll be still hot, you know, and that lets me know that I'm burning a lot of calories, I'm burning fat, and then I've pushed myself. They have these things in the workout called Transformers. There's 6 workouts, okay? I'm trying to explain it to where it makes sense. There's 6 workouts and 6 weeks. So that workout for day 1 just gets progressively difficult throughout the weeks. And there are 3 workouts in each workout, and they're called Transformers, and you have to count your reps. So say you're doing day 1 of week 2, what I did this week, I did a certain amount of numbers for these 3 workouts, and your goal is to beat those 3 workout numbers every week that you go. I hope that makes sense. So for week 1, I had one workout that I did 40 reps on. Week 2, that same workout, I did 45. So you kind of get what I'm saying? The goal is to beat yourself every week. And so far, I have beat myself every Transformer for this 2nd week. And every time I do it and I see my previous number and I see the number that I just completed, I get emotional. And it's just proving to me that I can push past myself. So that's why it's my favorite, because now that I can see I can push past myself physically, I've been able to tell myself, okay, you're tired, but you need to power through this project because it needs to be done tomorrow. Instead of me just saying, oh, I'm tired, I'm closing my computer, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. It's really creating more of a determination in me, and that's really exciting to me. So that's my fave. If you're looking for a great at-home workout, I would definitely recommend Transform 20. Go ahead and get you they got a 14-day trial on Beachbody. You can get through 2 weeks, girl. Those are my faves. Okay, let's keep moving. 3 points of culture. The first thing I'm gonna talk about, y'all know what I'm gonna talk about. I've been seeing it all over my phone, all over everywhere. Muff and Taylor Swift tried it. She tried it. I don't care if you come for me because she tried it. Y'all know she tried it. She took her little narrow behind to the Billboard Awards. Listen, there is no problem. I don't have no problem with hacking. Hacking is where you see somebody doing something great and you take that concept and you make it for yourself and you make it your own. That's cool. There was totally a way where Taylor could have hacked Beyonce's performance and not make it look like she mimicked it step by step. Like, she even came out and was like, she even came out and tried to like she over, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she was, ooh, God bless the child. I don't have any encouraging words. I'm just shocked and appalled. I can't be mad because literally, if I can be really, really real with y'all, it's not like it's the first time where mainstream non-African American people have taken things from African American people that they were inspired by. So, I mean, what did we expect? Yeah, and I'm done. Prince of Egypt. Do y'all know about Prince? Many nights we pray. So, Prince of Egypt. Isn't my case so cute? I got it off of Amazon because my actual my actual Apple case was starting, like the actual front of it was starting to look really scratched and like I didn't love it. So I had to start and get a case. This was literally like $16. Came from back and it has the cute little keyboard on it. Anyway, if you care. So Prince of Egypt is getting turned into a musical. Listen, if you guys have hung out with me, y'all know I love the singing and in real life situations. I sing in real life situations all the time. And for me to know that there can be miracles is gonna be a musical. Like, it was basically a musical to begin with. I sent my sword, thus said the Lord. And me being a kid that grew up with, like, I don't want to say superly religious, with, like, you know, with a strong affinity for biblically sound entertainment. The Prince of Egypt was like the one. Now, you the real MVP if you also watch Joseph and the King of Dreams. For you know greater than I. Who knows that? Who knows Joseph? Is it not the king? It's Joseph the King of Dreams. Joseph, King of Dreams. Y'all know the one I'm talking about. It was the one right after the Prince of Egypt that didn't do as well. It's okay. You know, it's both of them are on Netflix if you do so desire to watch them at this point in time. They're both on Netflix, along with El Dorado, which is also a great video, which is in the same animation. I'm on a tangent. But The Prince of Egypt will be adapted into a musical in 2020, February of 2020. So be on the lookout for it. I think it's gonna be great. I hope they got some great, powerful voices. I don't know what else they can make into a musical because, again, half of the movie was a musical, but I'm sure they'll find a way. So yeah, moving right along to my final point of culture, Ciara. This one touched my heart in a very special way because of the space that I am in right now. So proudly, and opened up about embracing her natural beauty. And this meant something really special to me because I too am on that journey. I'm in this space where I'm just tired of trying to be something that I don't resonate with. And I said this on Insta Stories a couple of days ago. My phrase for this year, and I know that it took a long time for me to get to it, but it is resonate with your core. Like, everything that I do now, if it doesn't make sense to me in terms of the essence of who I am, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna befriend it. I'm not gonna do it. If you don't resonate with my core, sayonara, because I will be 30 years old this year and I don't have time to compromise who I am anymore. And it was really good to see another young woman going through this process as well. She said when she was a teenager, when Goodies came out, she was like 15 or something, and she had to grow up in the public eye, and she relied on her makeup to make her feel beautiful because she didn't know how she didn't embrace herself naturally. And I can really resonate with that because, of course, I wasn't in no public eye, but I always felt like once I was able to wear makeup, because my mama didn't let me wear makeup till I was 16. That's a whole nother story. But once I did get into makeup, I always felt like I didn't feel like myself if I didn't have it on. And now, with me being, you know, as busy as I am, and being a mom of 2 under 5, and running a business and trying to, you know, grow on the internet, for lack of better words, it's been hard to keep up. And there's been a lot of days where I'm just looking at myself barefaced, hair all over the place, and then I don't have time. I'm tired of wearing wigs. I feel like my edges be suffering. They need to grow back. So, like, I'm just tired of doing so much to find satisfaction in fleeting things. And I just resonated with her, and she shared a hashtag and said she encouraged us to go on social and post our most bare selfies. Now, this is a very interesting journey for me because, one, I never really liked my natural hair, and I'm just now getting to the point where it's like, okay, this is cute, but at the end of the day, even if I don't think it's cute, it's who I am. So, I mean, am I denying myself by not embracing my natural hair? Is it okay if I don't want to embrace my natural hair and relax it anyway? Does that mean I'm not wanting to be true to myself? Like, I've been doing a lot of digging in that, and what I found is that I feel most free when I just appear to be me, and that is something that I'm trying to grow and develop in. And I really like the journey. I like where it's taking me. I like what I'm learning about myself and my appearance and what I think my appearance should be to other people. This whole journey has just been really, really great. And it was great to know that I wasn't in it alone. And that's how I felt when Ciara started to open up about her beauty. So, okay, wow, we got through this really, really quick. We are to It's a Word. We made it through our first weekly walkthrough in 15,000 years. Yay! So it may sound like something that I have repeated in another weekly walkthrough, but it's something that I have been resonating with. I have been listening to quite a few sermons, and they all have been saying the same thing. And that is, be who God has called you to be, embrace the calling that God has put on you, and put your blinders on, because if you don't, God is going to remove that calling on your life. And it has been resonating with me. There have been situations in my email, on my social, that have been like, this is not what God has called you to do. So me as God, I'm saying, I'm gonna take this away, I'm gonna put this on hold, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, until you realize that you need to be doing what I told you to do. And the weekly walkthrough is one of those things. You know, it's gotten to the point where, now don't get me wrong, I enjoy, doing what I do on social, but the purpose of my presence on a platform where anyone and everyone can see is to share God's word and how it is adapted in my life, and how women that are my age, that are in my space, can do the same. And that's what I've been called in grace to do. So that needs to be the priority. And I want to challenge you to ask God, or have him remind you of what where your grace is, where your calling is, because I think he's in this space in earth. Literally, I listened to 3 different sermons and they were on the same vein. I listened to Sarah, I'll put them in the description box. I listened to Sarah Jakes Roberts' Foolish Glory. I listened to Stephen Furtick, My Maker is My Mirror, and I listened to Michael Todd. He's doing the Marked series, and he talked about don't let God white you out. And it's all about being who God has called you to be specifically, and doing that and turning your blinders off, because a lot of times you'll do things for validation and things might work, and what works might be completely opposite from what God has you to do. And now with being in the world that we live in, it's hard to not want to do what people like, because when you do what people like, the numbers follow. But it's not about numbers, it's about purpose and what God has called you to do. Because once you're in the position that God has you in, you're able to bless the next person so that they can be in their position that God has called them to be, and they can bless the next person. It just goes and goes and goes. So it's very important to make sure you're lined up with what God is doing. And Sarah Jakes said, it's hard to be a part of the culture and want the culture to come to you, but when you're doing what God is calling you to do, sometimes it's not gonna be where the culture is. But if you follow where God has you, then he'll bring the culture to you. You can't be a part of it and influence it. You have to be doing something different to where people are like, wow, this is different than what we're used to. What is she talking about? That's when you have impact. That's when you have influence, and that's when God can really move and bless not only you, but people that are called to what you have to share from him. So I hope that really inspires you to just ask God, hey God, remind me of what my purpose is. Make me strong enough. Remove the desire for validation, to where when it's time for me to do something that you have called me to do in this, I will do it. And this is where my validation will lie, and how well I'm doing it and how well I'm pleasing you, with enough faith that if you called me to something bigger, you'll bring the bigger to me. Don't let me chase the bigger, God. You're the bigger that I should be chasing. So I hope you're inspired and encouraged by that word, because that's literally the fire that is in my heart right now. And we made it through the weekly walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy the weekly walkthrough. I'm so glad y'all watched. I'm so glad y'all tuned in. I love y'all. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.